just for some context, I'm gonna show you around the pits and show you just how many cars are fucked up from this track. Oh, sorry, demonetized. How many cars are boinked down and dirty from this trackerino? See, we got the obvious. This is our friend Keegan that you saw in yesterday's video. He's getting his shit back together so he can get on the trailer. Let's take a little tour. All right, this is a E46 that crashed on the first day. This is a really cool guy. He's super nice. He was helping us out last night. This thing was quite mangled. He was like the first big casualty. He was the one that everybody was sharing on social media because it was like the first big crash of the event. Probably still the biggest too. And then we got this guy over here, the JZX, oh no, sorry, MX-83 Cressida. It's got a non-VVTi 1J in it. That had a bumper and taillights yesterday. Yeah, he's a cool guy. His name's Hunter. So a little crunch on that RX-7 happened last night. Let's go down the other end of the pits. The other thing is too that a lot of the people who've crashed have just left already, so not quite as many people as I'm hoping to show you, but still a few crashed bastards out here. That one's not too bad. It looks a little munked up. White E36 yesterday. I flipped around backwards and smashed backwards into a retaining wall that I was standing right behind, and it was pretty terrifying, and it was a huge impact, but all it did was crumple his bash bar in the rear, and he just drove away and kept driving. And then this red S14 that I'm about to show you crashed pretty good too, but he's putting it all back together. He's planning on driving. You may have noticed there was a subframe on the ground back there, so some serious shit happened. So hopefully you could hear me over the wind noise, but basically it's like every other car here has been smashed into the wall at some point in one amount of severity or another.
All right, so this is where we're at. Got the radiator all plumbed up. Intercooler is almost all plumbed up.
We're about to be starting the car up pretty soon.
It's raining now, which is kind of scary. This track is devastating in the dry, so I think if it continues to rain, we'll probably see a couple more cars looking like this at the end of the day.
Let's see if this works. Same size? No?
Shit.
So they got the radiator and intercooler all in and plumbed and everything, and then went to fill it and realized that there's like a bleeder or like petcock kind of thing in the back that's just not in there, so it's just shitting all the coolant straight on the ground. So they're gonna rip out the radiator, go to O'Reilly or something, and try to plug that hole. Has to come out again.
It's pretty easy to take out, so.
Yeah, good point. It's only 2 hoses.
I designed this with the utmost forethought, so.
Yeah, you saw this coming.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to take this back out. So I'm not even gonna try and make it. Do you have a funnel that goes on there?
Master mechanic over here got his shit supported by its own weight. There's, instead of a spring around that strut, there's a vice grip holding it so it doesn't compress, which is amazing. And it's straight enough to push up onto the trailer now, which has been the goal all day. Oh shit. Was it the vice grip?
Hell yeah!
So that's one bit of triumph. Next, we tackle this. Charles is doing some certified modifications to this thermostat.
This is actually a well-known mod. This is called Charles Sanborn #1 mod. Is remove the thermostat. Every time I have an issue with anything, I'm like, gotta pull that thermostat out.
So Quentin didn't film any, but they got the car running and driving and bled. We're back here at the track and I'm filming!
one.
How's it feeling?
Feels like it did when I first showed up.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
And it's staying cooler without the thermostat.
Oh yeah, well I believe that. Yeah. So Charles is forcing Quentin to use the handbrake.
Yeah, I was getting on him. I was like telling him exactly what he needed to do, and then he did it. Bam.
Sweet. Yeah, those last couple look sick.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna run back and get sunglasses real quick. All right, Quentin officially is a handbrake man now.
Yep. Pretty scary going into that.
Yeah, I know.
Third gear.
You keep going up like way too slow for the handbrake and straightening out. It scares me every time. But those
Well,
last like
it's
couple
because
runs.
it's scary, dude.
Yeah,
Going so
I
fast.
know. Like you have to go so fast. To,
And
like,
turning
make it
against
work.
that wall.
Yeah. But yeah, those last couple were super nice. I know.
He was talking about it last night, right? Like, definitely.
Yeah, he's getting it now.
Coming in hot.
Oh, that wasn't even that good.
I don't own them all.
Quentin's like, I don't know if I want to fuck with all that smoke.
Looks so slow out of the car and feels so fast.
When you can do 135 in third gear, you got a problem.
Up to the water pump. So Quentin went off track and they pushed the car back, and I was wondering what was happening. So we came back and oh sorry, here.
The belt popped off and it bent like this thing a little bit.
Power steering pulley.
So like when it's running, you can see it like wobbling a little bit. And I was just like matted in second gear. Like I was like, hell yeah, I just got a good entry on the first corner. And then I'm just like full throttle into the next corner and transition into the next one, like where the big barrier is and all the people stand.
Yeah.
And I was like full throttle into that too, and I was just grabbing the e-brake, and then all my power steering went, and I couldn't like get back to where the wheel needed to be, and slid like right almost into the wall.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I filmed it, but I did see it.
When you can do 135 in third gear, you got a problem. Are you trying to drive more?
I'm not gonna be able to get it.
Yeah.
There's a crack. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me get a filmage of that.
Or a drive real good.
Oh, fuck yeah, see that?
That must have happened when I crashed.
Yeah.
We'll probably be back.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You know everything was pushed up against there?
Yeah, I bet you that the only thing holding it is this little metal bracket on the back, but that's just like a little, that's just to keep it rigid. No, I think we have it routed wrong, but honestly there's no point because it's just gonna throw
Yeah,
the belt.
So this video's been full of bad news, but there's some mild extra medium news coming, which is car is immobile. It needs the power steering pump like welded back onto the, or like a bracket welded back onto the block, and it needs a new power steering pulley, or maybe it's the water pump pulley, I'm not sure, and then tube front and all that shit. On the bright side, Mr. Charles here is gonna tow Quentin's car back to his shop in Idaho. We're gonna go home, save some money to pay Charles, and Charles is gonna do a shitload of work on it.
Get it ready for park.
Yeah.
So we can actually go drive because we keep flip-flopping whose car's broken. So it'll be worth it.
Yeah, a shitload of fun.
Yeah. It's crazy in my car. It's so much fun.
I believe that.
Yeah. I bet you it's
480 on a tight little track like that.
Yeah, second gear's like the most fun thing ever.
I believe that. So I guess we're gonna get it loaded eventually, and we're headed out of here. That's the end of Villains Sportsland inaugural drift event. Good ass time. Loaded up, we're choted up, we're scroted up. Time to get goated up.
Okay. Yeah, Charles is taking my car. I gave it to him. I'm tired of it. But yeah, we're just loading up now. Time to get going. But next weekend we're going to park. So.
Alright, so yeah, we're cleaning up, we're heading out. That's the end of that shit. Beer! Oh yeah.